First off, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to Great Millstone and the elders and apostles, and salutation to all the sincere brothers out there pushing the truth, and the sincere sisters who are listening and learning. This lesson is entitled Expiration Date. We are going to look at the fact that Yahweh is in control of time and is in control of what happens, and it's his final say. All right. And there's good expiration dates and there is horrible expiration dates. Okay. It sounds like expiration seems like it's always bad, something going bad, something spoiling. But that's not always the case. We're going to look at the goodness of expiration dates, and then we're going to look at the bad of expiration dates, okay? And the big picture here is this. There is a good expiration date for us who are Israelites, okay? And there is a bad expiration date for the rulers of this world currently right now, chiefly Edom, the Edomites, the so-called white man, and all these heathen countries that join hand in hand with this beast system, okay? And we're going to look at an example from the past of an expiration date, good for Israel and bad for other nations. And then we're going to look at another expiration date that's for us Israelites, that's good and bad for our present time Mystery Babylon, these Edomites, and all these other heathen nations that are in charge, okay? So with that being said, let's look at the expiration date of old, okay? Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. It says, "And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. So, we're looking at this. Israel's going to go through 400 years of an affliction, but it has an expiration date, which is good. It says, "And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance." Now we know that judgment was upon Egypt, and boy oh boy did they get destroyed. You see, they had an expiration date over their rigorous rulership over Israel. Okay, Israel had an expiration date to get out of that rigorous torment. Okay, so that's good for Israel, bad for the heathens, bad for the Egyptians. Okay, that's a prime example. It says, "And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace, and thou shalt be buried in a good old age." Abraham, expiration date. Yes, he's going to pass away. But the good news is that he is a child of the living power, Yahweh, okay? Continuing, it says, "But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And it came to pass that when the sun went down and it was darkened, behold, a smoking furnace and a burning lamp passed between those pieces." The key point of this part is this. It says, "But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full." Remember, when Abram and Lot separated, Abram did not possess all the land, okay? Lot was over there near Sodom and Gomorrah and such on. Well, this is saying the Amorites actually have an expiration date. And the Amorites was the chief, city or population of Canaanites, okay? And as we remember, when the Israelites were finally set free, that expiration date, when they was able to leave Egypt, what did they go do? They went and destroyed the Canaanites and the Amorites and a lot of the Hittites and such on. Those Amorites had the dew of the earth, man. They had, the best of the best land. They were living lavishly. But Yahweh gave them an expiration date on how long they were gonna, you know, live on that land. And look at exactly what he said, which is beautiful. It says, "For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full." So this is a key element to the point when we move to our present time. Remember this. It says, "For the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full." That means that the Amorites at that time were wicked, but they were exceedingly wicked to the point where they were building sin upon sin. Iniquity is doing sin and sin and not looking to the left, not looking to the right. They just want to continue in sin. And Yahweh was sitting back and saying, okay, let them keep sinning. Let them build that tab up, okay? You know how you leave, spoiled milk in the refrigerator? And if you leave it in there too long, it's just going to keep getting more toxic, more bacteria, more mold and mold. It's going to keep building up to the point where you're going to just see it one day and you're like, what the hell? And you're just going to take it and just throw it out. No questions asked. And that's exactly what Yahweh Shem Yahshua did when he delivered Israel out of Egypt. They went over there and started killing both old, great, and young because they was polluted. Those Amorites, those Canaanites, Hittites, they were wicked. They were polluted. So it's a beautiful thing to see the expiration date for the ending of Israel captivity, but also the expiration date, which is horrible for the Amorites because, hey, they're wicked and they got their judgment, okay? Continuing, it says, "In the same day Yahweh made a covenant with Abram, saying unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates." This is a very beautiful thing that there are expiration dates. There's some good and there's some bad, but for us Israelites, the expiration dates are wonderful, okay? Because we get set free. We don't have that bondage, okay? For the other nations, they get destruction like Egypt and the Amorites and the Canaanites and such on. Now let's look at Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1, verse 6, because this is a key element to our present time and that expiration date I keep referring to, which is for Israelites, which is good. And an expiration date for these rulers of our earth at our present time. They have an expiration date as well. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me." And that's going into the prophets, those who are watching for the signs of Yahweh Shem Yahshua's coming and returning. It says, "And Yahweh answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it." And this vision is this gospel, this word, and the prophecies, understanding the expiration date of our captivity, us Israelites, because we are yet this day in our captivity, but also understanding the expiration date, the rulership of the wicked, okay? Just like the Amorites got destroyed, we have wicked rulers ruling now who must be destroyed in order for us Israelites to have peace. All right. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." You see, there's an expiration date, and it's dealing with these prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Okay. And we're going to get into it. "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." We have wicked rulers over us again. Just like in the times of Egypt, we had wicked rulers over us Israelites. Now we have chiefly Edom, the so-called white man Edomites, descendants from Esau. Okay. And now we are expecting a due date of, hey, our captivity is up. Time to go, put yokes of iron and chains on somebody else and let and just like the Amorites had to get cut off, that's the expiration date. It's one thing to be free, but we have to rid the earth of the wickedness, starting with Yahweh Shah, okay? It says, "Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe," and woe means destruction, "to him that increases that which is not his? how long, and to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. This is referring to wickedness and the border of wickedness, which is chiefly Esau, Edom, the Edomites. They're proud. They say they discovered America, when in actuality they stole it. They committed genocide. They killed people who did no evil towards them. Okay. Yes, there's none good, but they went above and beyond. They went into torturing, feeding babies to alligators, molesting little children. Their wickedness was on a whole nother level. Just like those Amorites who continue to get spoiled and spoiled and spoiled. That's what's going on with chiefly America today. They never had no judgment. Their iniquity was just rising and rising. They get to bomb people, put sanctions on nations, steal nations' land. They're just spoiled. They're piling up sin and sin, sin upon sin, iniquity upon iniquity, okay? Continuing to Revelation, okay? Now here's the beautiful point. America, iniquity has an expiration date. Just like the Amorites, they built up, they're going to get destroyed, okay? Just like the Israelites were delivered out of Egypt, that's our expiration date that we're waiting on. Revelation chapter 18, starting at verse 1, it says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." This is the expiration date for Babylon, Mystery Babylon, aka America, the whore, the whore that rides the beast, okay? It says, "For all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." And that's what America has done. America she's a consumer, okay? All these other nations have got rich because America loves to buy, spend, all right? It looks great, but America is nothing but pride, fornication, Hollywood, lust, murder. Out of all the countries, we have the highest child trafficking, and such on. But we're supposed to be the greatest nation on the earth. No, America is a spoiled milk carton that's in the refrigerator, and the time is running out. Yahweh Shemal Shah is going to take one look at it and say, you know what? Hey, let's start this process to put this in the trash, okay? And that's what's going to happen to America. It says, for all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins." That's the expiration date. Who are my people referring to? Israel is Yahweh's portion, okay? Israel, starting from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, okay? We are the seed that has the promise and the covenants. Yahweh is asking for us to come out of Babylon spiritually, okay? To serve him, because our time is up. Being in this captivity is over, okay? Our expiration date is to be set free and delivered, so that when Babylon get her judgment and the plagues and all these other heathen kingdoms who join hand in hand with her, that we get spared. Just like the days of old. We're gonna inherit. Yahweh Shemal Shah is gonna destroy the wicked. We're gonna start to inherit all these. We're gonna rule the earth with Yahweh Shemal Shah. Our expiration date is beautiful, because we get renewed, okay, starting with our glorified bodies and such on. But the heathens they're gonna go in chains and captivity. Edomites eventually are gonna get fully destroyed. It says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities." Once again, just like the Amorites, the Yahweh Shemal Shah, they're just waiting on spoiled America and all these heathen countries who love her spoiled milk. He's just waiting for it to build up, to get more sour, get more sour, get more sour, more bacteria, more germs, more mold. And then eventually he's just going to say, okay, enough is enough. Yahweh get down there and start bodying people. That's what Yahweh did when he sent that death angel into Egypt. Killed all the firstborn of Egypt, okay? This is real, okay? This is going to happen again, but on a grand scale. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she reward you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. All the spoiled sour milk that America loved to partake in, and wickedness and abominations, we're going to take that same spoiled milk, but ours is going to be vengeance and wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay. Just like when you see that spoiled milk in the refrigerator, you like, man, I gotta get rid of this. You take it as if it's the plague. You don't want one drop on you, but you want to get rid of it completely. You don't want no trace of this spoiled milk. You throwing it in the trash, okay? Period. There's no repentance. Nothing that milk can do to say, oh, I'm gonna keep this milk. No, it's going to the trash, man. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. And that's what when the milk start getting spoiled, it's looking to the left, looking to the right, looking at, and it's like, I'm just chilling, I'm in the AC, and I belong here, no matter how sour I am, now she wants to try to grow mold and try to corrupt everything else around her. But the day and the time is coming, man. Okay, the day and the time is coming for these Edomites. They think they're gonna live deliciously and all this stuff, but they wait till Yahweh Shema shall show up. It says, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Yahweh who judges her. And one day, it takes one day, less than scripture says Babylon is going to be destroyed in 1 hour, okay? And one day, when those Amorites, before Israel showed up, they was probably marrying, partying, drinking, having a good time. Then they heard the thousands upon thousands of footsteps of those Israelites coming. And one day, and then those Israelites went in and started bodying them. And one day, cleansed the whole, took over the whole land. And one day, man, that's what's going to happen, okay? Our expiration date is conquering our enemies. Yahweh giving us the heathens for our possession, okay? And for Edom, chiefly Edom, to be totally destroyed after this 1,000 years of captivity. So with that being said, the expiration date for Israel is dealing with Yahweh B'Shem Shai and being with him, and for the Edomites to eventually be destroyed, and for these heathens to go into captivity. All right. So with that being said, Shalom.